Every gearhead begins the same way, not with a machine, not with a set of tools, but with a question that won't let go. It's a simple, nagging curiosity that burrows deep into the mind and refuses to be ignored. Before a single wrench is turned, before any metal is cut or welded, something stirs inside. It's this quiet internal pull toward understanding how things work, and more importantly, why they sometimes don't. This is the fork in the road, the exact point where most people stop thinking. They see a car that won't start, a lawnmower that sputters, or a clock that has stopped ticking, and they simply accept it. It's broken. That's the end of the story. They call a professional, or they throw it away and buy a new one. The mystery remains locked inside the machine, forever unsolved. But a gearhead doesn't. A gearhead can't. That nagging question transforms into an undeniable need. It's a fundamental difference in how they see the world. While others are content to accept what is, the gearhead is already asking what could be. They don't just see a broken object. They see a puzzle, a challenge, an opportunity to learn something new. What starts as simple curiosity quickly hardens into a fixation. That fixation then deepens into an all-consuming obsession. Suddenly, the world isn't just a collection of objects anymore. It's a vast library of mechanical systems, each with its own story to tell, its own secrets to unlock. The gearhead becomes a detective, hunting for clues in the clicks, whirs, and rattles that others ignore. They start to see the interconnectedness of things, how one small part can affect the entire system, how a tiny adjustment can make all the difference between failure and function. This isn't a hobby anymore. It's a new way of seeing, a new way of existing. And then, inevitably, failure enters the story. It always does. The first attempts to fix something, to build something, to improve something, they don't work. The part that was supposed to fit doesn't. The engine that was supposed to roar back to life remains silent. Things break. They break in new and spectacular ways. Bolts strip, wires short out, and carefully laid plans crumble into a pile of useless parts. Mistakes don't just happen. They multiply. One wrong move leads to another, and another, until you're surrounded by a mess that seems 100 times worse than where you started. This is the crucible. This is where the real test begins. Frustration becomes a constant companion, a heavy blanket that threatens to smother the initial spark of curiosity. Doubt creeps in. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I should have just left it alone. It's tempting to give up, to walk away, to admit defeat, and join the ranks of those who accept the world as it is. This is the moment that separates the wannabe from the true gearhead, because it's in this relentless cycle of failure and frustration that the real transformation occurs. Each broken part, each stripped bolt, each failed attempt becomes a lesson. Frustration isn't just an obstacle. It becomes a teacher, a harsh, unforgiving teacher, but a teacher nonetheless. You learn what not to do. You learn the limits of the materials you're working with. You learn the feel of a bolt that's about to strip, the sound of an engine that's running too lean, the subtle signs that something is about to go wrong. You start to develop a sixth sense, an intuition that can't be taught in a classroom or read in a manual. It's earned, paid for with busted knuckles, greasy hands, and long nights spent staring at a problem that seems impossible to solve. This isn't about natural talent. It's about sheer, stubborn persistence. It's about refusing to stop when the answers don't come easily. It's about the deep-seated belief that there is a solution, and you are going to find it, no matter how long it takes. The process forges you. It changes you. You develop patience you never knew you had. You learn to think critically, to diagnose problems systematically, to break down complex systems into manageable parts. You learn to improvise, to adapt, to overcome. You learn to see failure not as an endpoint, but as a necessary step on the path to success. The satisfaction of finally hearing that engine fire up, of seeing that machine run perfectly after hours of struggle, is a feeling that non-gearheads will never understand. It's a victory earned through blood, sweat, and sheer force of will. And that's when the realization hits. The gearhead was never just chasing a machine. They were never just trying to fix a car or build a project. All that time, all that effort, all that struggle, He was becoming something. He was forging an identity. The grease under the fingernails, the scars on the hands, the ability to hear a problem from across the yard. These aren't just byproducts. They are the marks of a transformation. They are the symbols of someone who refused to accept the surface-level world, and instead chose to dive deep into its inner workings. This is the beginning, not of the build, not of the project you see before you. This is the beginning of the mindset. The mindset that looks at the impossible and asks, how? The mindset that embraces failure as a guide. The mindset that knows the greatest things aren't just built with tools, but with an unyielding will to understand. This is where it all starts. The rest is just nuts and bolts.